Hey there, Professor Howd here. You're doing good work. I wanted to introduce this particular week by talking a little bit about your first papers. You're in a module right now that's a little lighter. Last module was heavier because you had a lot of reading and you had that paper to take care of. I finished evaluating everybody's paper who submitted on time. And I want to make sure that you understand that even if you didn't submit the paper on time, you still have a chance to submit it. I do have to take points off for lateness, but remember, a 0 brings your grade down a lot at the end of the course. Whereas if you hand something in late and some points get off of it for lateness, you still got those points. So this little message is for those who haven't submitted yet to encourage you. Reach out, let me know. Talk to me, submit. You'll get credit for it and you'll get points for it, which is a big difference. I don't want anybody to receive 0s in here if I can help it. So that's number 1. Number 2, for those who submitted, you probably saw recently that I released some evaluations. And the way that I do evaluations in this course is I bring your essay up onto my computer screen and I record myself talking over it, telling you how to make it stronger, telling you what to add, telling you what's great in it already. And all of that winds up being somewhere between a 6 or 9 minute video of me talking over your paper. I've always done this, and it's a great way to get feedback because you can listen to it as many times as you want. And it's almost like the two of us are just sitting down at a table together, looking at your essay and discussing how to make it even stronger. So I think everybody did a pretty good job on the first essay. I did have some universal themes that I was calling out in a lot of your papers. One of them is to not jump right into your storytelling right away, but instead make an introductory paragraph that talks universally about the themes that you're talking about. And then bring that same universal paragraph at the very end as a conclusion, maybe worded differently, right? Or maybe just tacked on to your current ending. But we have to be able to tell our writers what these stories are about and how transformative they are. If we just share the story with them and don't pull out of the story to make those comments, it's a personal essay. And a personal essay is a form of creative writing, which this course is not about. So always try to frame your work with more universal ideas, especially when you're telling stories, especially if you're analyzing films or analyzing pieces of literature. Start off at a high level and then go into the details with the examples, and you'll be golden. Now, I wanted to share a few sentences from all of you. I do this when I evaluate all the papers. I'll take some sentences that maybe ring true with me and are well worded, and I'll share them anonymously with you so you can get some inspiration on what your fellow classmates have been writing in this first paper. Now, I don't pull quotes from everybody because that would be upwards of 60 students in my life I would have to do that with. Instead, I pull about maybe 7 or 8 of them each paper, and I try to mix them up by author so that I'm getting to as many people as I can. I'm not going to read author names with this. I just want to read you some of these wonderful sentences that came out in this first batch of papers. Here's the first one. As you grow, you notice more of the little bits of negative or positive in your community that you didn't when you were younger. It's just how life works. Communities don't always need to change for you to see a difference. Sometimes all you need to do is grow up. Here's another one. At the end of the day, I think the town is a constant reminder that nothing can remain untouched by time. And another one. Without my home, without my memories, I wouldn't be able to explain where I came from or who I am. Here's another one. Ultimately, personal narratives are far more than casual reflections. They are acts of meaning-making, identity formation, and connection. Here's another one. Traveling can open our minds and hearts. If we travel wisely, we can help protect the world and build friendships across cultures. And here's two more. At the end of the journey, it is what we make of it, who we become, not the places we go. In the end, the journey could take place in your own home. And here's the last one. While it can be disheartening to deal with, bias can be challenged through dialogue and empathy. Every moment is a chance to facilitate growth. And I love those phrases. You know, they just flow, they're universal truths, and there's something that we as human beings can connect with. And that's what we're looking for in academic writing papers, is we're looking for connection in some way. Just remember, they're different from creative writing. Creative writing, it's all up to the reader to choose what meaning is there. For academic writing, the author tells us what the meaning is and then shows us how they came to that point. I look forward to reading more of your work. I know I'm catching up on some other journal exercises, and there is that Song of the Open Road discussion I've been staying away from chiming in on right now because I know some were waiting to get the textbook, which should have already been in the bookstore as of last week, I hope. So I'll be getting more feedback back to all of you. I just wanted to get those papers done because you do have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks from when I send you the evaluation to submit a revision. And when you submit a revision of one of the main papers in our course, make sure to lead off that revision with a paragraph that tells me what you changed and why, and then put the revision in. That way I know where to look for your changes. All right, keep up the great work, everybody. Look forward to seeing more of your writing and seeing more of your reflection online.